right? So get your bingo card stamped by your sponsors, and I can stamp it. Where's Zane at? Zane can stamp it. So to get it all stamped up, you get a chance to win that book at the end of the day. What else? Walk-ons. When we're all done here, we're going over to walk-ons to hang out. You can kind of chat with us a little bit. What else, Lori? What else? Schedules. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to find them in the bags. That's just a little snafu on our part. We'll do it better next year, I promise. Just kind of dig in there.
Looks like this.
Map on the back.
The maps on the back of the schedule. Alright, I think I've taken enough time. Okay. Evaluations. Please fill out your evaluations. Please fill out your evaluations. These guys, you know, if they don't do a good job, I'm going to go about it.
No, you sure?
I need your undivided attention. Alright? Okay. So, thank you guys for coming out to our SQL Saturday. I'm Patrick LeBlanc, and we got a host of people. We'll talk about this later this afternoon. We're going to get started. We're going to let Steve Jones. Steve Jones is I'm not going to ruin it because I don't know everything he does. So they told me not to talk a lot. I don't talk a lot, right? They told me not to spend up here to take too much time. No, but so Steve Jones is going to do a keynote. Steve Jones, he does all the SQL Server Central. He's a co-founder of the SQL Saturday. He's a co-founder of this. He's a co-founder of that. Don't know everything he does. But he was so gracious to come down here and do the keynote for us. We're excited to have him. Steve Jones. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to let you guys look at my wonderful Windows 7 slideshow here. I put the whole slides together because, well, you guys came here to see me talk, right? That's why you're here. See if I can get things started. So, welcome to SQL Saturday 28 it is, right? I'm amazed that we got to 28 actually. We started this 3 years ago. And I'm glad to be back in Baton Rouge. This is my second time here. I was here last year. I wasn't invited to the keynote last year for some reason, but it's nice and warm and wet like I remember last year. I wore a second shirt over today, so I don't stink like I did last year. My theme today, I'm going to try to go through it and make it a little bit shorter today, 15 minutes. It's a long road. Life to me really is kind of this long road. It's this journey that we're on, and hopefully it's going to be a long road for all of you as well. Now, I've seen that metaphor used a lot in life, that we kind of journey down this road in life, and we can go a few ways, right? You can kind of go down, plodding along, looking at your feet, getting things done every day, or you can kind of, move along, be happy, smell the flowers, enjoy your life. And hopefully you want to do the second one. Now, I think that metaphor fits your career as well. Your career should be a long journey. Most of us are going to work for 40 plus years probably doing something. Hopefully something we enjoy. And in that 40 years, we'll spend most of our week at work. We get up every day, go to work 5 days a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. We do a lot of work, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's good to have a purpose. It's good to have something you do. But you want to kind of grow yourself as you go through your career. Now, you can grow it however is important to you, what works for you, but you want to grow. There's been a lot of research that looks at what makes people happy, what motivates them, what makes things feel good, and it seems that there's 3 things that are really important to all of us. There's autonomy, there's mastery, and there's purpose. And hopefully you're going to find all 3 in your career. Some amount of autonomy to do what you want, when you want it. Some amount of mastery, get better at whatever it is you do. And then a purpose, right, that you enjoy what you do. You think you give some value back to the world doing whatever it is you do. I know IT doesn't necessarily feel like we give back value, but hopefully we do. Now, there's kind of 2 sayings that I've heard a lot in my life talking about this journey, this long road. The first one is that today is the first day of the rest of your life. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that as well. And it kind of means it's never too late to get started. You can start something today. It's the first step on the next journey of your life. The other thing that I've heard, which seems to mean more and more to me every year, is that you're never as young as you are today. You're only going to get older after today. So, again, it's a perfect time to get better at whatever it is you enjoy doing, or you need to do, or you want to do. Now, for those of you that know who I am, run SQL Server Central. Some of you probably follow me on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere else, and you know that I like to run. And you might see me posting things like day 523 or day 697. Today is actually day 704. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's consecutive days that I've run. Today, when I run later today, I'll run around the lake. Again, I did it yesterday. It'll be 704 days in a row that I've run. Now, as I run over the years and over my life, I've learned that I have good days. I have days when I feel great. You know, I can kind of run easily. You know, I don't worry about anything. I'm not tired. I just look up at the world as I move around, and you know, I might let my brain process something, but I feel great. I really enjoy those days. And a lot of times I find that I've just gone somewhere and I don't realize I've passed, you know, a mile or something. I've just been running, enjoying it. Now, for other days where I'm tired or I'm sore or running 700 days in a row, you get hurt and you don't feel good, you know. And those are the days where I'll look at my feet. If I'm on a treadmill, I'll count the seconds, I'll count the steps, and I struggle and I don't enjoy the run. And I realize every painful step I'm going through, you know, I'm aware of it. And my aim is to really have more good days than bad days, and then enjoy the good days when I have them, and also appreciate the good days when I'm having a bad day. Now, as I've been running, I've learned how to run, which sounds crazy, right? My kids thought, well, you just go run, right? It's not hard. Actually, you do learn how to run. If anybody's done something athletic for a while, you get better at it, and you develop the skills, and you get into what's called the zone sometimes, or what's called flow. You have to get in shape. You have to pay attention to what you do, but you learn how to eat right, you learn how to get enough rest, you learn different techniques, you learn how to make it easy to find the zone. And I think you can do the same thing in your career. Do the same thing in life, actually, not just in your careers. Enjoy the good days. You try to get better so you have more good days. And you strive to have more good days than bad ones. But when you have those bad days, you appreciate the good ones, you remember them, you move forward to try to find more. Now, hopefully you guys are all going to have very long, prosperous IT careers, if that's what you want to do. If you want to do something else, hopefully you'll do something else. Now, even today, I think you can have a simple career. You can go to work every day, check the backups, check the logs, write some code, you can get things done. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can make it, do it, you can have a good career, that's fine, that's good. You know, you can rely on what you've learned in the past. You know, you can just do a competent job. Go home every night, do whatever it is you want to do outside of IT. Spend a lot of time with your family, your wife, your kids, whatever. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Or your husband. Not forgetting ladies. But I don't know if that's enough in technology, especially these days. I mean, technology changes fast, and things are always changing out from under us, often not our decisions. Now, life is full of risk. Right? We make countless risky decisions every day in our life. You know, can I make it across the street before that car gets here? You know, is this jambalaya safe? You know, there's all kinds of decisions we process all the time that just calculate levels of risk on different things. And, you know, we have more risk or less risk depending on who we are and how we feel. Right? Some of us are very risky people. Some of us are very conservative. There goes my image now. Now, the level of risk isn't necessarily consistent. Right? Somebody that's really brave in one area might not be brave in another one. You know, some people won't go to a casino and gamble $5 on the table, right? Not their thing, not big risk. Don't want to do it, right? But that same person might get on a busy highway and go 100 miles an hour and not think about it, right? It doesn't necessarily make sense. It's just an individual thing. And that's the way I am, right? I don't like to gamble. Not with cards, not with money. But I do drive a little fast at times, which occasionally gets me into trouble. Now, in our careers, we also have risk, right? We have risk all the time. Is our job safe? Is the boss mad at us? Are we doing a good job? You know, somebody that's going to keep us employed? Is the company doing well? Are they going to have layoffs? You know, are they going to lay me off if they have to have layoffs? We have to assess this risk all the time, and a lot of times we kind of perceive that as some amount of security or worry in our jobs. We can't always control that. We just can't. You know, companies can decide to do things for various reasons, and it often isn't part of our job. They don't care what we think. In this area, E&I Petroleum is a huge drilling company around the world. They had a huge presence in New Orleans. About 5 years ago, we had a little problem, right? A little hurricane came through here. E&I Petroleum left. Lots of jobs disappeared, went to Houston. And I don't think that any of the IT guys were ever consulted if that was a good move or not. That was a business decision. Something else to do. It's not just disasters, though, right? We're in technology. We all see that we build systems that are efficient, that do work. They eliminate the need for somebody else to do work. Sometimes there's other work to be done. Sometimes we need less people. It just happens. So what do? You know, in the last few years, we've seen a lot of talk in the news about offshoring, outsourcing. A lot of companies are doing that kind of thing. And you can't control it. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you can try to do, is make yourself more valuable. Companies may outsource, and they may allow you to keep your job and work remotely. They may not offer you a job. They may offer you the chance to move. Those are decisions that you have to make at a personal level. How you deal with them, what you want to do, is it right for you? A few years ago, United left Seattle, where they headquartered for years, and moved to Chicago. And Denver's a big United hub, so we had friends there. But a lot of non-management staff, a lot of technical staff, a lot of people lost their jobs in Seattle because they moved those jobs to Chicago. Some people were offered the chance to move, some weren't. Some people didn't want to. Right? I don't know how many of you guys would want to leave if your company moved to Mobile, Mobile. How do you say it? Dallas, wherever. I should have stuck with Dallas. Mobile was a bad choice there, I think. But it's your decision. I worked for a small company years ago, and we're doing well. Everything's fine. I left the company for other reasons, but about a year after I left, this was about a 50-person company. The owner just decided to move the company out of state. He just wanted to move his family, and so he just moved. And I think like a third of the people were offered a chance to move and take jobs, and then the rest weren't. They were just cut loose. It just happened. So there's not always something you can do, but I don't know that this is completely out of your control. I think to some extent you can lower your risk. You can mitigate your risk by doing things like you do today. You can increase your skills. You can get better at what you do. Each time you add an additional skill, you add some more depth to your skills, you get better at your job, you're more marketable, you're more valuable, or at least you should be. And you should think about that as you go through your career. You should have a little bit of a plan that tries to make sure that you are a more valuable person in whatever field you choose. It doesn't have to be IT, but if it's IT, you ought to make sure you're more valuable. Make sure your boss knows it. Keep track of what you do, let them know. Make sure he's aware you're doing things like SQL Saturday, you're improving your skills. Hopefully that will endear you to him, and you're less likely to get laid off, less likely to have issues, or if you do, you'll find a job much easier. Like I said, they don't have to be in IT, right? If you want to be a chef, you want to just do this during the day so you can be a chef at night, then go work on skills that will help you be a better chef. Think about what you want to do in your life. Pick up those skills that are relevant to whatever it is your passion is. Running short on time, so I'm going to move. Let's see here. I'm cutting out paragraphs, sorry. I've heard people complain about long hours in IT, right? Who's on call or who works long hours? Probably a lot of you guys, right? It feels like sometimes that we think IT ought to be this 9-to-5 job because we work in an environment. But I'm not sure it is. And I'm not sure it's any harder than other industries. Doctors go to school for years and years. And most of them have to continue to work on their education every year. They have to go to seminars, they read journals, they struggle to keep up. Same thing for nurses. We don't always realize when we go see them. It doesn't feel like maybe they work very hard. We see them for 2 minutes, they disappear, the nurse comes in, gives a prescription. But these guys are committed to education on a general basis, and they work long hours. Lawyers as well. I know we tend to make fun of lawyers, but they have continuing education requirements to be part of the state bars. You have to do a certain amount of knowledge transfer every year from various sources. Same thing for accountants. Friends that are accountants, they have to pay attention to tax law changes that often drives their business changing from year to year. Similar to technology. We get people selling us new platforms, people selling us new products. The boss reads about something in a trade magazine and they want us to do something with this new platform. I don't think we necessarily have to work 100 hours a week. We have to be like doctors, but I think we have to be flexible and we have to be prepared to constantly improve our skills over time. In IT, we don't really have regulatory requirements, but we do have these things called salespeople, and they seem to be always changing our jobs, always causing us to do something new. And I see it firsthand. I work for Redgate Software, a software company, and I see the sales guys are always pushing for you to do something new, do something different. And sometimes you don't want to, but change is good, and it does mean that you have to make an effort here. You have to embrace that we need to continue to work at our skills.